afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, Hero of the Reich, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to exciting 1 versus 1 on a whole lot further between. In the west, we got Frost fighting for the Commonwealth, the United Kingdom. The 8th Infantry Division has been some time here since that was going, but well, most of them were kind of like CC arts, you know. Not so much they're sort of fun comment on in the longer run, they're just sort of playing like Career Sims. And I mean, again, they'll be seeing more British play returning after the sort of latest hotfix. That might also be a slight play into it. Here we go, versus him. They've got BlackAce fighting here for the Wehrmacht here with Ostrom Doctrine. Pushing out as many Ostrom as he can here, fighting for the Kampfgruppe Wolf. We got buttons here for infantry for him, and for Frost it's actually universal carriers and allies tanks, Churchills, and Fireflies. Rushing straight for the centre here with the infantry section. Cheese bagging a bit, I suppose the best you can call it. Just slightly pulling that and not finishing them. I kind of wish Relic would also maybe do something about that. You know, if you don't finish it, it just automatically wrecks. That should be very possible. Anyway, it's got section running up there. Others queuing this into victory point, grabbing points here. Either way, that's going to slow down a bit here compared to BlackAce, who of course is just rushing forwards with the Ostrom, whipping them forwards relentlessly, like a Teutonic taskmaster. Section waiting there. And there you go, looks like he's actually aware of course of this. Maybe you're setting up for sort of assault, but no. It's not just sitting one section, then sitting on the other section there towards him. Might go for the cop on there, trying to force Ace here to of course return that. Since that's not actually a bad idea. I mean, trying to get to engage the Ostrom here from the front tends to be some of the worst things you can do, since again, that's where most of the neck penalties are basically negated if they just sort of find from heavy cover. I mean, they can pretty much stand up to most sort of regular infantry to a certain extent. No, he actually flanks it. Good work, good work. I figured he'd go for the car point, force him track to him, but no. So he goes to the car point. That also works out, in fact, even better. Right there, the Ostrom are quickly sort of dealt with. And that's basically one of the bigger, you know, weaknesses of the Ostrom. Basically, if they're sort of flanked or just forced to fight out of their comfort zone, which again is reasonably narrow, I mean, they're very quickly routed. Again, that perhaps what some people sort of tend to forget what fighting is. More cheese bagging. Come on, Frost. Pioneers are taking minor losses. We got second infantry of Pioneer section up with an infantry company following up there. Quick playing some support. Here's the Ostrom, mortars, snipers. Not machining them, but I suppose you might mix up some grenadiers. I mean, some players like to go for grenadiers to support the Ostrom, though generally, I mean, if you're going to go for Ostrom, you know, you want to take up quickly and then get Panzer grenadiers instead. I mean, if you're going for a heavy 2-1 using Ostrom, I mean, you kind of end up sort of defeating the purpose, in part because if you're using Ostrom, you sort of want to use them as a springboard to sort of quickly push ahead up the tech tree, grabbing territory, and then sort of using them to sort of hold up again, which you can do reasonably effectively, and then sort of get something and do a lot more damage and sort of take up the more mobile fighting, which the Ostrom can't really do well with, or before your opponent upgrades his men, in which case the Ostrom will that way also lose up pretty severely. So for fighting here, Ostrom hold here by the section, but fighting on there for king and country. Ostrom playing in against the section though. Bad news here for the section. Pioneers moving ahead with flamethrowers. We've got a section there. We got some take up here though for Frost. We got sappers moving ahead there. Sten guns in their hand. But there you go. The assault continues here, pushing back the British, forcing them further and further back within their own territories. The section there basically taking heavy loss here from the Ostrom, with the section there too occupied with the Pioneers, basically allowing the Ostrom there free. Well, targets basically. There you go. Ostrom up with out in the open. No cow, and this is pretty much where the Ostrom are basically worse, and there you go, quickly focused on. In this case, he's focusing on the Pioneers first instead of the biggest threat. No, he retreats both of them. I think that might have been a mistake, because the Alman, I think, could have, you know, knocked out the Pioneers and then only been the Ostrom, and he could have won against that. But there you go, Sappers here versus Ostrom. Rush for the building. If the Ostrom getting first, there's going to be a lot of trouble there, but there you go, they do not manage it. The Sappers clear out. No. Oh, phew, that was close. That was basically word here that the Sappers would be in the awfully polite, you know, Oxford type. Don't worry, chaps, go ahead, have some tea. That's not how we're supposed to do it, Harry, you absolute twit. Get there and kill them. Sniper's on the way there, so alright, he does go for a heavy 2-1 here. Bit more risky, in particular, the bitch, of course, can take up more rapidly and thus actually hit you a bit more sort of aggressively in some sense and react faster. Either way, though, we are seeing that BlackAce has an issue to push it, grab territory, but again, now we got Frost a bit more on the warpath sections already. He's got Sap as well, a bit more assault elements. And overall, BlackAce's forces are a bit sort of scattered out. They probably should finish the sandbag 7 though. Ostrom moving in. Oh, can't use the sappers there. They can't do it anyways. There we go. Good hit, Pioneer White. There we go. BlackAce there was a bit too slow to react, or perhaps we will poorly judge the situation. However, the Pioneers were cut down by the sappers, gaining them veterans to 1, which gives them the cover bonus, 1 in cover as well. Ostrom getting engaged, but there you go. At the same time, Ostrom flanking in there. Not good. Sections moving in. And we got here trenches now available to BlackAce alongside the officer, but he probably won't use the officer, most don't, which I always think is a bit of a mistake, since the officer is in fact pretty good when utilised to support other troops. In particular, once he hits between 3, his bonus becomes absolutely amazing. Sniper there reveals his presence against the British, cutting down Harry in a swift shot, taking up there, going on for BlackAce and the Wehrmacht. Small shootout there, not trying to finish the sandbag, we're still taking some losses there, also in heavy cover, and there we go, grab the fuel point back. And we got here Tech 4, the Scout Car 4, Thrust.
You can now order new armoured cars to be built.
And Quidasly throwing another Scout Car there versus his opponent. Bit of shootout there, Pioneers like to make a nice company there. I want to consider Telemine soon enough, but the Scout Car should certainly help versus any vehicles that BlackAce might get. Could also be sort of harass and flank the Sniper. Pushing up there again, Sappers moving up there, get into the cover here, they should be able to do it, but at the same time they will have one advantage of the Ostrom out in the open, and that basically means the Sappers should be able to win this even without the veteran advantage at that low health, because again the Ostrom are basically terrible out in the open. Again, that is, again, it's a very huge weakness. Again, they're also very easy to hit. So, I mean, they're very much dependent on using heavy cover. You can basically somehow one way or the other negate them. The cover, the Ostrom are pretty much, you know, not very good. In fact, downright terrible. And are basically just meat sacks full of experience for the enemy. There you go, Punishment blocking off the path of the Sappers, so you can't quickly rush the Sniper. There we cut him down. Bit of good work there for BlackAce. Like to make a nice comedy up. We're not seeing anything from it. He go for Panzer Grenadiers. Good. Soon got to go for Flammpanzerwagen. 2-2s. Pack 40s. Several options there for BlackAce and the Wehrmacht. And meanwhile, Frost is going for the AC Mark III. Further finding in the centre. So now getting some hits on the section. Need to get into cover though. They fight best in cover. They don't quite cause sub as much as the Ostrom out of cover, but still, I mean, they do perform overall better. Healing up there. Good work. Doing the medical Macarena there, under the supervision of the medical team. 2-2 on the way there. That's going to find itself quickly countered by the AC. He's not careful. There we go. BlackAce. So Martin might be hit with some vehicles. He's acting into prepared defense. He's got Telemines going down there. Good work. At the same time, though, as all of this has been happening in the north, though, Frost has been able to take advantage of this to sort of push through south and hit the fuel point there. Very well played there by Frost. Very well played. Ostrom reinforcing. Telemines down. There you go, Scout Car there is available for both sides now, though obviously the British one has the big advantage in several senses, though of course it's also a bit more expensive. But it does have the bigger gun, smoke automatically supplied. So, but the 2-2 will actually be a bit better versus infantry. Though the AC is not exactly bad, it's not good either. Then again, neither is the 2-2, but it still manages to be better than the AC for most parts there. But there you go, again here, the section engaging, flanking in there with the autocannon and the Kaxon machine gun. Schnelldieter, he must shoot them to death. For Deutschland. Deutschland demands that they die. There you go, the AC moving, but there you go, with the Ostrom there, he's perhaps a bit too close. No, he goes in. There you go, 2-2 caught in a lot of trouble here. This is quickly going to be a very short excursion there for BlackAce and Scout Car. AC, bit too fast. No, misses. 2-2 barely gets away there. Damn close there. BlackAce got a bit lucky there. Sappers there taking heavy casualties there from the Ostrom. Pioneers moving over with a Flammenwerfer in the centre. We got second hold up the Ostrom there. Moving in there. And you can actually see the Telemine. Nurse has been laid down. We also got the Telemine up here. He's basically seeming, I think, sort of centering his efforts on the north. The south is also important, but it's clearly here in the north. He's expecting his bit fight the house, but also the fuel and resources around there. Otherwise, he wouldn't be laying down the Telemines the way he does this. That's going to make it a lot harder for Frost to sort of rush in actually Scout Car, but also in the armour, and overall again sort of designates this is my place to fight from. His Schwerpunkt, his centre of gravity. AC fighting in there, 2 kills so far, again doing some damage. Pioneers are being engaged, misses horribly there with the 75mm gun crack machine gun doing what it can. More troops moving in, of course, at this point. Frost could consider going for some either bolted section of just weapon non-locks, a few Bren guns right now. Could do quite a bit good for him. And there we go, we got the Panzer Grenadier on the way there for BlackAce. More elite infantry. Counter this Tommy Fred with. Also moving ahead section there. Support to the Scout Car. And we got a doctrinal choice here. It is a special weapons regiment. We got the boys anti-tank rifles getting out there. Don't think they actually used them by 1944-45. I might be wrong there, but I'm reasonably confident they didn't. They've mostly used Piats, really. By the way, though, he's calling up some tank hunter section there to help. Of course, they also got their own heat grenades there. fact the British also had a sticky bomb, so actual sticky bomb that does still produce. The problem was, though, it was just as likely to stick to them as it was to the enemy, and was mostly, I believe, issued to the Home Guard regiments and not the actual frontline troops. Little fun fact there. In fact, the British had a lot of weird weapons in the hands of the Home Guard, in the hopes that, well, they never had to use them, I guess. But basically surmising if things were that bad, probably wouldn't hurt to have to use it anyways. Engagement in the centre. For the south, you're seeing Frost is sort of trying to push at 0 points. A bit risky here, bit risky. Could make mistakes, but then again, he could be able to sort of sneak through this gap in Black-Ace's lines and push through them. All the way, we've got to push through south. No mines here. I mean, there's nothing to sort of support the 2-2 against the AC. Panzer is still moving ahead and fighting up north here. Quick push back to section there, starts running about. Trying not to clear up the mines, it seems just grabbing points here while he can. And there you go, Panzer is going for the cop point, something he can, but the cover is quickly being shredded here by the Panzer, but it is accurate assault rifle fire. And there we go, pushed away here. 10th Panzergrenadier Regiment, running a bit of support here for the Kampfgruppe Wolf. In the south, Ostrom pushing back the section there, banks are being covered, so they had a bit of a chance there, though perhaps not the biggest one, might have been either Ostrom or the 2-2, who knows. Meanwhile, fresh posts here, sections and the scout car. Now with the added anti-tank rifles. Panzer's going for the fuel point, there we go, coming in on fire, shot misses. Nothing further here, no upgrades at all for the sections, by the way, there from Frost. There you go, Panzers are routed by the scout car, the other scout car getting there, getting the sappers, opening up there, up close, getting some good damage. We've got another tank hunter section out there. He's actually adding in a lot of infantry here. They've got 3 regular sections, 2 tank hunter sections, and 2 sappers. Interesting enough, no bullshit yet. Meanwhile, pushing from the centre and the south here, even as he's focusing on the north, Frost is losing the rest of the map here to BlackAce's aggressive attacks, time and time again. So can't keep blasting him to not blow the infantry. There you go. I think he cut down poor Jürgen there with an anti-tank rifle shot. AC moving up. Oh, Pioneer's caught the laying down another telemine. I mean, he's really laying down a lot of telemines, and so far he's actually not dealt with any of them, even as he's taking territory. I mean, that could actually end up with a very tragic accident, If he forgets about them, rushes through his armoured car, and then kaboom.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Telemine there was actually finished too. And at the same time, we got BlackAce here taking advantage of the mountain terrain and territories got here for the large part of the fight here to actually now go for the Bomber Corps. We could go for Panzer IVs, Stoops, Austrians. By the looks of things, you'd probably go for the Panzer IV. Not a bad idea, they'd lie on the line, particularly since there's option now for Crocodiles. Of course, he should know that thanks to the Tank Hunter section. He might consider getting out some Stoops supported. Otherwise, the Panzer IV will struggle a bit. Then there's some chance there for some heavy damage done. You move up, push through here by the Church Pioneers. There you go, lots of anti-tank rifles, stem fire. Sniper fire in return. Well, full retreat there. Almost full retreat. Dealt with one mine there. The other one is up there still around. Push to the south again. Frost using his large infantry numbers actually to try and push for silver points. We also got Panzerschrecks out here to help deal with that scout car. No Pack 40s, instead relies on some Panzerjägers. And a fun fact, as sort of the war progressed though, and they had the Panzerschreck that actually sort of lowered down the number of anti-tank guns and actually replaced them increasingly with Panzerschrecks, much to the distress of the units, since they rather preferred the anti-tank guns due to the longer range, whereas with the Panzerschreck they had to get up close. And for example, in the Volkskanone divisions, I believe they actually lost entire tank hunter units and basically had them replaced with Panzerschreck people. Very fun fact there. But a Panzer IV there on the way for BlackAce, Panzerkampfwagen. Ostrom, scout car, full assault. Panzergrenadiers following up. In the south, we got at the same time got a pretty assault going in against the Ostrom. Bit of cover there. Still taking fire there from sections. Virtually 2, and there you go, going out of cover. That's pretty much there. Shooting up to some cover of his own there though. Still managed to push to the centre. Ostrom almost wiped down. There you go, mine in front of the door there. A bit of a welcome gift from the Commonwealth. Dimitri! They lied! The doormat said welcome. There was a mine under it. Damn British. Damn Germans too. At least they didn't mind the doormats. There we go. Got the 2-2 with the AEC. Going straight for the Northern Victory Point. Down south, Frost. Assault here continues. Well done. They're sort of constantly hitting. And again, BlackAce is struggling to contain it since he's got no machine guns and he's only got one Panzer squad, which is not great to Panzerschreck, so he's lacking something there. And the Ostrom are basically forced to sort of run from point to point, which does diminish what they can do. So in that sense, Frost, I think, so far is reasonably negating here BlackAce's strategy, which again leads on for some issues. But there you go, the Panzer IV should have sort of, strengthen the lines, push back the Tommies, do some good damage to Deutsch. And there you go, we got a mine down! Allowing here the infantry to get away there, and if he had something, he could probably punish the Panzer IV quite nicely, but he's only got the scout car and some tank hunters. In theory, they could do it. I mean, if you sort of flank the Panzer IV with a scout car, you could actually do it. So it does have a decent chance of dealing with the Panzer IV, but again, it does require support. Still moving up there, shot fired, and also the Panzer IV doesn't get a direct hit in the first shot, then can't take another hit there, to be honest. Further fighting here, Osram holding up the section, in fact the tank hunters, pioneers, snipers, moving down to support the Panzerkampfwagen. Pulling back the scout car. No, he's actually going forwards nonetheless, trying to perhaps deal with the pioneers, they're trying to repair it. Further fighting here, Panzers versus the section, Panzers are going to lose out. We got here mines down in case you're worried, he tries to pull back, somebody gets flanked, good work there. Far sight there. Oh dear, almost like the scout car there. Pop smoke, pulls up barely, Panzer IV being almost repaired there. Need to somehow get the scout car out there, but I fear it will be too late for that one. Unless BlackAce decides not to attack to hunt it down. Further abilities unlocked, including hold the line here. Proper utilisation that could be devastating versus BlackAce. But we could see some armour. There we go, we got a Cromwell tank on the way to support the 8th Infantry Division, help it hold the line before the hunt. Panzer IV rolling ahead there, section of Sappers moving ahead there, Osram support, and there we go, got the scout car completely knocked out there. And now space is just down to anti-tank rifles to keep the Panzer IV in check, also mines. Still hasn't dealt with that one, by the way. So in that sense, Frost is a bit under-equipped to deal with that for the time being. Still hasn't bolted, still hasn't got for weapon racks.
Enemy forces are securing our
Bit of a grim situation here for Frost as the Panzer IV advances through his lines. We've got more Panzer going to deal there for BlackAce. He can actually go for a third one after that. Of course, he could go for Stuck to support his Panzerkampfwagen. Still, even as Frost is in the centre, he's keeping up pressure on the flanks, so he's not losing sight of what also matters, and is working to deny resource of BlackAce, but also force him to maybe sort of abandon the elements here to sort of react on his own flanks. There's a very well played there by Frost, very well played. Nice, cool, frosty play. If you're going for the cop one again, though, again, BlackAce is not going to be fully intimidated, but again, he's going to leave here the forward elements now exposed and unsupported. In particular now, of course, we've got a Cromwell moving in there from Frost to return. That's what they push back one section, fighting with the main gun and machine guns. Taking heavy damage there, Osram coming into the building instead, but quickly getting out as that building's about to collapse. Cromwell moving ahead. Oh, there we go, Panzer flying, and there we go, kick the Panzer fast down into the engine. Well done, well done. Panzer IV moves in. Ah, Cromwell misses. This is looking bad, but there you go. Panzer moving in onto all the anti-tank rifles, anti-tank grenades going off as well. Main gun is on the Cromwell, but at the same time the Panzer IV's pulling back. He could actually move in and knock it out. But I think he's actually worried about the anti-tank rifles. At least they're sufficiently scanning him with their numbers, so forcing him to be more careful with this Panzer IV. I think he still could have gotten away with knocking out the Cromwell and getting the Panzer IV, and then particularly at Blitzkrieg. But either way, though, BlackAce did not have the confidence or the courage to pull through that. So either way, that worked out there for Frost. Panzers, the counter-attack up north section there, rapidly repulsed. Getting more repairs for the Panzer IV, and of course, Frost's Cromwell is going to need some very serious repairs. Good lord, it seems to be on fire in both ends. I do think it's time for a bit of concern, Larry, and Harry, and Barry. Don't worry, as your commander, I shall make sure we come out of this mostly alive. There we go. Now it's going for both upgrades right in a short succession, both infantry sections, and then weapon racks as well. So that could mean he might be ready to get some Bren guns, in which case BlackAce's infantry will suddenly find itself severely undergunned. I mean, he's got one Panzer gun in his squad, they can sort of match him with assault rifles. The Ostrom won't, the Panzer will not either. And there we go, lots of Bren guns there being handed out. All of a sudden there, Frost has a lot more capable force, and particularly now section's also bigger.
We have 300 points remaining.
So that's a bit bad news there for BlackAce. He's getting another Panzer IV, and it's really going to come down to the Panzer IVs, but at the same time, if he loses then those Panzer IVs, he's in trouble. This time here for the mid-game analysis, current situation in terms of damage, BlackAce leading ahead in terms of kills. He's slightly leading ahead here though, so in that sense he's doing pretty well. In terms of army value, he's been a bit behind here, but sort of getting back here now, so, and points help, not too bad. I mean, overall things In some sense, looking good for Frost, but in other sense, you know, BlackAce does an advantage. He's got the armor advantage, but right now, of course, there's one thing that's really bouncing back for Frost again. That's the infantry. He's finally upgraded them, and that does mean he's got a bit of an infantry surge going on there against BlackAce, who doesn't quite have the firepower to really match, and he's also lacking machine guns. So right now for BlackAce, he probably should consider getting out some machine guns. I mean, sure, the Panzer IVs can work to an extent, particularly works them together, but mines and a tank rifle, and who knows what else is out from Frost. I mean, they could run into some troubles, and he's still going to need to infantry, or at least hold southern parts of the map there. So getting out either some additional Panzer Grenadier or some MG42s right now, I think should be a priority there for BlackAce. Otherwise, I do feel down the road in particular could hurt out, in particular with the Panzer IVs get countered in that sense. Frost also has the option for, say, getting a Firefly, just getting some anti-tank guns. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a single anti-tank gun yet. He should at least consider getting one, though, I think, versus BlackAce. Beyond that, for Frost, well, you know, keep up with infantry, get more Bren guns down the line, and I think you should consider going for Hammer, getting out a Comet tank. I think they'll do quite well. I mean, he's got the bullets here for the Crocodile, or Churchill, but, you know, I do think a Comet would be a much better choice in many senses. I suppose you could translate up for the Crocodile, though that wouldn't, I think, gain him immediately as much. That's just trying to take up rapidly. Both sides could benefit from a few caches here and there. Beyond that, not so much to extent. Of course, Frost could perhaps also consider getting some Vickers machine guns out. But let's return to the fight, see what happens. Panzer IV versus Cromwell. Cromwell getting the first good hit there. Snipers under heavy fire from the Bren guns. Oh dear, he's too busy with anything else and loses sniper there to the Bren guns. And the section gains 53 in the process. Sappers moving up there, more sappers moving in there. Heavy fire going their direction. Telemines there. BlackAce actually making very good use of telemines. He's really doing his best to limit how Frost can use his armour and vehicles. The thing is, again, he's been largely relying on infantry, so I think he would benefit more from S-mines initially and then follow up with telemines, but go figure. Oh, their second Panzer almost ready, but there you go. Panzer IV down to half health. The anti-tank rifles are really just tearing into the armour. Cromwell moving in as well. There we go. Panzer IV down to, I think, almost a quarter health there. Second Panzer IV arrives. And there you go. Second caught out in the open. Panzer Grenadiers, Panzer IV. But there you go. Still doing some damage in there. Needs more Panzer Grenadier. Or MD42s. Although second Panzer arrives at the same time, though Frost is making gains in the south here. Ostrom cannot respond to that level of firepower. Panzer IV doing what he can, but he actually needs to consider repairing it soon to, you know, can last in the longer fight. Pioneers retreat, leaves only one Pioneer to need to repair the Panzer IV. Second Panzer IV arrives here to save the day. Pinpoint machine gun going up. 14 elements, of course, this spotted by Frost. Cromwell needs repairs, but this veteran's one which opens up for the smoke shells. Cut off secured by Deutschland. He's going straight to the base. I think he's going after the Panzer IV. Some infantry 6 now, though. Going to change some anti-tank rifles there. And actually quickly pulls back here. He's really worried about those anti-tank rifles.
The enemy is taking our territory.
And who knows what else Frost might have, though Frost is still not using any anti-tank guns. Much to my surprise. Paying the Panzer IV there. Panzerkampfwagen 4. There you go, Panzer quickly engaged, double sections with Bren guns. The Panzer simply cannot match. The Panzer IV actually pulling back here, not supporting the northern troops there, or joining up with the second Panzer IV there to form a more of an armoured spearhead. Oh, another mine! He'd mined the back to us. Well, scheiße! What is it with these doormats being mined? Verdammte Britische!
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Cromwell setting out there, Panzer IV almost ready, but there you go. Cromwell gets off the first hit there, Panzer IV down to half health already. Panzer IV misses! Cromwell goes in there, almost got the Panzer IV, Blitzkrieg! Blitzkrieg! Barely managed to get out, oh, sliver of health! Sliver of health, Panzer IV escapes, Panzer is moving in, the section flying away, the tank hunter sections too. Panzer, oh god, the Panzer IV! Oh dear, Cromwell pulling back there, almost ready to already. BlackAce's lack of infantry will really challenge the British infantry beginning to sort of show here. Panzer IV moving in on the Cromwell, but the Cromwell again is close to 52. If it hits that, that's going to be a better rate of fire and some better turret rotation, I believe, which is certainly something to be worried about. Grabbing the point there, sections moving in. Almost hit that telemine. If he'd hit that telemine, that would have been huge right there for BlackAce. But there you go, moves in. Shot bounces though, shot bounces. Losing territory. BlackAce is losing territory all over the place here to Frost. He's really sort of ascending now, thanks to all those Bren guns. And again, the Ostrom simply can't match that level of firepower. The only thing he's got that can decently do that is the Panzer Grenadiers. And he's got one squad that can do it properly. And he's also lost the Panzer IV here. More damage there. one thought is to either go for an Ostros, more specifically focus on the infantry, or get out of Stug to deal with the Cromwell, which is acting now Veteran 2. Getting some damage in there. Panzer going there for another section, striking at BlackAce's base there. Pressure is increasing on BlackAce. How shall he react to this challenge from the Commonwealth? He's actually getting a Pack 40 now. More mines there. Good Lord, Frost really loves his mining entrances and exits to the buildings. Cheeky bastard. And there you go, almost dodges the mine then, Pat, because the mine was... Oh dear, so close there, so close, but Cromwell escapes there. There you go, Panzer moving to the Veteran 2, Panzer Grenadier. Close again, that by the mine there being set off. Ostrom Panzer moving to the north. So a bit more patchwork map now. BlackAce really should consider more Panzer Grenadiers or MD-42s. I'm surprised he's still not considering MD-42s despite the massive amounts of infantry that Frost got against him.
The enemy is taking our territory.
I mean, it would at least help him sort of keep somewhat under control. He's also lost a pioneer. Squad needs to replace that so he can pick repair his armour. In particular, if he's actually intending to get more armour. Also from there, there's a section. The section's out in the open. Only got one Bren gun. He should consider actually upgrading his many of them with double Brens. So right here, the Ostrom at full health. Behind that cover does have a chance that there's the 3 men low health section out in the bloody open. Panzer IV already. Cromwell receiving vital and need repairs. And he's actually going for Anvil here. I had kind of figured he might try and go for Hammer. It just feels like it's better with them, but he's going Anvil, which does open up for some other options, including his, heavy engineer upgrades for sections as well. There we go. Though of course it does cost a bit of resources now. Section pulling back there. Panzer goes continuing in the north with the Ostrom in support. More pioneers on the way there. Gute Arbeit. Mines going off. 82 on the tank. 100 section taking heavy damage over the Panzer IV and the pioneers. But at the same time, even as that all is happening in the north, you're seeing the Cromwell being used to push back the Ostrom. Oh, mine! No! Dodges it again! Panzer fires off there. Desperate attempt. Fails to penetrate. Panzer IV gaining 10 kills. This section out in the open, bunching up. Bit dangerous there. Frost. There we go. Good hit. Several men lost. Almost got the southern fuel point back there from the Tommies. Finally getting MD-42. Lost an Ostrom squad there. And the mine goes off. Harmlessly. Halfway to 82 there, Panzer IV, section moving straight into the machine gun there, taking heavy damage from the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV is really a killer here, in particular out in the open cover. Ostrom doing what they can. You've got section there coming from the Bren Church there with their guns. More sections moving up there. Cromwell moving in as well. Pack 40, Panzer IV ready to deal with that tank. Another Panzer IV on the way. No attempt at Sturmgeschütz. There we go. Cromwell shoots, misses the Panzer IV. Pack 40 opens up. Not focusing on the Cromwell set up. Just keeps shooting the church. There we go. Section moving hit there. MD-42 done. Finally there for him. He's, I think, almost 25 minutes or so before he actually got an MD-42. Still, he's pushing through in the south. Ostrom spearheading efforts there. Cromwell moving in there. Grenades in the Pack 40 almost got it. So we got grenades now for the section. They just fully upgraded here in the late game. MD-42 setting up there. Pack 40 cleared up. Leaning behind only big Panzer IV. There we go. Veteran T2 shoots enough. And second Panzer IV arrives there for Deutschland. Frost, they could go for the Churchill now. Of course, he might be setting up for the Crocodile, I guess. And the Cromwell is almost Veteran T3. Which basically means it fires even faster and also moves pretty quickly about on the battlefield. Veteran 2 Panzer IV needs some rather serious repairs. Grabbing points there, sections moving ahead. Pack 4 to recruit, still think she needs to get some more Panzer Grenadier, but there you go. Tank Hunters going straight here in after the Panzer IV. What else there? But there you go. MD-42 here to save the day. We even got a Bren gun there dropped. He should grab that. Use it for Deutschland.
We are losing a sector.
Panzer Grenadier rushing north. Also, fun fact: the Bren gun is actually a Czechoslovakian design. The name, in fact, Bren, basically comes from Brno, which is the sort of name of the Czechoslovakian weapons factory, and then Enfield. Little fun fact there.
Territory is out of contact.
Same with Sten. basically the creators of the gun, or creator, I can't remember whether there's 1 or 2, and then Enfield again. Fun detail there. Or at least that's what I believe it was. I might be remembering incorrectly there. There you go, Panzerkampfwagen defectbereit, ready to challenge the Tommies once more. Panzer avoiding southwards. Sappers there, also with Bren guns. Quickly engaged there, bullets raining against them. Splitting up his Panzer IVs. Basically, I'm sort of support 2 pushes, if you will, as long as there's no serious resistance or any armoured counter pushes there. Frost, I think, is clearly going here for the Crocodile, not the regular Churchill. Or even a Firefly, which I think could also be helpful. Certainly going for a Crocodile can have some benefits. There we go, section there, Bren guns opening up. Still no double Brents there. He might be aware, of course, stopping them, which is something they can do. Put self-dominant, of course, we've got scope rifles, which do count as weapons. I think that's a minor risk either way. Also, they're getting absolutely shredded out in the open. No chance there versus the well-ensconced British section with Bren guns. Section there taking heavy damage. We got more Bren guns dropping here. At least he's picked up 1 there. You could actually grab a second one there for Deutschland. Tank hunters there versus the Panzer IV, starting here with the armoured skirts on the Panzer IV, which is primarily what they were there for, dealing with anti-tank rifles. Since that was basically one of the Panzer IV's greater vulnerabilities, anti-tank rifles sort of shooting through the side armour. And there you go, Bren guns and the Pioneers as well. Cromwell moving ahead, very close with him. He's kind of a trench there, interestingly enough. Neutrality! Ah, scheiße! Lost the Bren gun, dropped a flamethrower instead. Quick, Harry! Grab the flamethrower! Why do I have to grab the flamethrower? Well, no one really likes you, Harry. You're an asshole. MD-42 opening up there. Grenade off. Managed to do nothing, but there you go, dealing with the Ostrom side of the church. Need to get out of there. MD-42 continues to fire away, but get the Ostrom out of there! Schnell! Down to 1 man, holding the Bren gun. Flying fanatically, there you go, Panzer IV flanks the Cromwell, now it is veterans who flee. A veterans Cromwell there, a Cromwell ace. One of the finest tankers in the Commonwealth. Panzer IV halfway to veterans who flee as well. They've certainly put some good effort into the Panzers. Ah! Panzer IV down to half health damage, engine scheiße. I told you, Lieutenant. Say, mind the doormats. Why did you drive over them? I don't know. I just thought, it wouldn't go off. And the tank observer Panzer IV section moving northwards, going straight there for the fuel point as well. BlackAce, I think, really should just consider getting a Stuttgart to help, over the Cromwell. Sturmgeschütz. He could, of course, I suppose, also go for the 3rd Panzer IV, but again, he's apparently could also again do it to consider maybe a Crocodile coming down, or Churchill, or whatever. Either way, there's some heavy armour. It's clearly coming. It just seems like BlackAce is not quite prepared for that. From then getting the Panzer IV. There you go, good hit. Bounces. There you go, the Cromwell eventually just has a high rate of fire. And there you go, the Panzer only shoots once, the Cromwell manages 4 shots at the same time. Right there, that Cromwell crew is absolutely devastating. There we go, following up here with a Crocodile, and he's just getting another Panzer IV. He really should be getting the Sturmgeschütz. We got flares down here, which really is odd to signal to BlackAce. I think they're getting a Crocodile. I don't know why, but the British always fire flares. It's not very subtle. There you go, Cromwell rushing in there, straight into the line of fire, the Pack 40 here. Panzer passed off as well. There you go, Panzer IV blitzes in. Like greased lightning. Goes straight there for the Cromwell, shot there, fails to hit. Panzer IV gets off a good hit in return. Shot fails to penetrate, anti-tank rod flying up there, but might not be enough. Almost got it, penetrating up there from the Cromwell. Anti-tank grenade, failed to penetrate. Re-exposed still, almost got the Cromwell, Churchill moving through the centre. Getting another Panzer IV, still gone for the, there we go, got the Cromwell. Need to pull back the Panzer IV. Veterans flee. Crocodile moving ahead. What, did they lose the anti-tank rifle somehow? That's weird. Oh wait, burning for everything here in the meanwhile. Panzer 4 needs to pull away there completely. Panzer 4 needs to, the other one needs to flank there, the first crocodile there. And he really needs to get a Stug now. Cannot emphasize how much he needs to get a Stug right now. Still he's got eventually 3 Panzer 4 his own ace, having knocked out the enemy ace. Bit of a loss there for Frost. Should have been faster to pull up there. He's trying to engage the eventually 2 Panzer 4 head on, but he probably should have been flanking it. Which again he could have done easily thanks to his higher speed. Other way. Trying to engage a crocodile head on with the Panzer 4, not the wisest idea, but as wise as trying to engage a veteran Panzer 4 head on with a medium tank. Almost got the Panzer 4 there. I mean, he's losing so much here to the crocodile, and again, if he just had a Stug. Up north, Panzer's being pushed away there. Panzer 4 almost repaired. He's only got the other Pioneer squad, I guess, is far away. Ostrom doing what they can. Panzer 4 halfway done.
We have 50 points remaining.
50 points left though for BlackAce. Looking pretty rough there, looking pretty rough. Frost could perhaps considering another tank out to support his crocodile, in particular all those Panzers up, more Pioneers on the way to help speed up all the damaged tanks. Pair. Frost is rolling on pretty decently there. You've got some heavy sabers out there with Bren guns and Vickers Ks. That's a lot of machine guns, by the way. There we go, tank hunters running straight to the Panzer Grenadiers. That was rather silly. I'm guessing he wasn't paying attention there. Panzer Grenadier flanking in on the section out in the open. Pioneers we can as well. Almost 53, almost 53. Keep shooting, men. Kill the Tommies. Yeah, there we go. Veteran free. Bad news for the section out there in the open with Bren guns. They cannot match the Panzer guns, in particular when they're out in the bloody open. Veteran 3, Panzer 4 ist gefechtsbereit. The ace moves ahead. Leutnant Weber strikes right there going into the crocodile, and some tank hunters need to be careful here. Needs to get a Stug. He's got the resources for it. Get the Stug out, man. Get the Stug. Sturmgeschütz. Right, that's the German artillery. Panzers, they're shooting right past the crocodile. Oh no. Can't watch. Well, I can, but you know. That could have very well been a wipe. Not repairing the other Panzer 4. Oh, what are you doing? BlackAce, when you got trenches being dug in now to uphold the victory points. Bleeding out. BlackAce, and nope, Frost is not being any silly here, taking any sort of ridiculous chances. Oh dear. Well, he probably should be focusing his Panzer Force into sort of one proper assault, knock out the crocodile, maybe other elements to sort of take back the victory points. Instead, he's sort of splitting things up as thinly as possible. Which is only going to be easier to Frost. And there you go. Panzer 4 not fully repaired. Crocodile sets out. Bren guns drop. Pack 40 not recruit either. He's doing nothing to sort of help himself versus the crocodile. He's not getting to. There you go. Telemine went off. Telemine went off. Almost 52 there. I don't think he's realising the crocodile is in a pretty bad state. They're up north. Panzer 4 getting mentioned one at a time to deal there with the entrenched section. And he's lost the Panzer Grenadiers on top. Tank hunters nearby. There we go. Good hit, good hit. Don't expose the rear armour, BlackAce. Oh, he wasn't even realising it was then that condition. Getting some decent hits there. Troops moving in. Penetrating hit, but there you go. Damage engine, damage engine. Ostrom rushing in, and there we go. Game over. He ran out of victory points here. BlackAce lost. Initially had a pretty decent advantage there, but ultimately I do think in part he was too slow and sort of taking advantage of the Ostrom start there properly. And then, you know, like machine guns, proper Panzer guns there, as Frost basically just continued to up the ante with his own infantry, getting Bren guns, belted sections, and BlackAce still slowly falling apart there, and you're just relying on Panzer Force when he should have mixed them up with other elements like, say, Stugs. The Telemines were a nice job, but he should again focus a bit on the infantry as well, and had some S-mines down there, so in that sense, Frost overall, I think, had the clearer strategy, had the clearer pace, and overall managed to push against sort of BlackAce quite nicely. Didn't let himself be rattled here by the Ostrom. And slowly but surely countered them, and what else BlackAce had there. I do think he should have gone though for Hammer. Gone for comedy instead of the crocodile, but you know, that's just my opinion. Either way, they're well played here by both sides, but ultimately just not well enough there by BlackAce. And also about one more episode to go before we're sort of back to a proper schedule there. So look forward to the 30th, and well, 31st we're sort of back properly there. So thank you all, and see you there. Bye.